Okay, perfect. We can start. Okay. So tell me, Laleska, tell me about the topic that you choose, why, and with which area, order, law, article you compare it.
Okay, I chose the topic of mercury contamination or poisoning in water. So I'm
Okay.
gonna be touching the topics of water quality, loss of biodiversity, and food safety. Um, uh, I'm gonna compare this to not only there's these objectives of how is it desarrollo sostenible,
We can
sustainable
say, yeah,
development,
development, yeah.
and that themselves aren't like something that you can call a treaty or anything. But there's also another one that it's Minamata, I think it's called, that Peru
Mm-hmm.
is has signed since 2016, I think. And besides that, there is numerous, as I've seen, numerous laws inside of Peru itself by the organizations that are related to water, because this is mostly about water quality. And
Mm-hmm.
those are from ANA, that is the authority, National Authority of Water, and AAA, that it's Administrative Authority of Water. That those
Mm-hmm.
are those organizations of Peru. Uh, my my case is about a specific region of Peru that is called Madre de Dios, and that is
Mm-hmm.
located in the jungle part of Peru, really up north. Um, it's the thing with this place is that it's very commonly used for gold extraction, especially like not in a large scale, like
Okay.
big companies that have the way to deal with the toxins that are used to dig all this gold, but in a more rustic, not really industrial way. So all these waste, all this toxin, everything goes to the rivers mainly. It either goes to the rivers by directly going to them or by the natural cycle of water, because water goes to the air and then it goes back to water, to being water, like the states of water. So mercury, it's
Mm-hmm.
something that you deal with a lot when you want to extract gold. So when you do that, when you do that, you obviously have to not only the people that work with gold themselves, like at first hand they work with gold, are exposed to inhale these gases, inhale mercury, and being exposed to mercury and other dangers of um, just minor itself, but this mercury goes to the rivers, and the rivers are filled with biodiversity, which are the fishes and other animals that live inside these rivers, and then they're exposed to the people that live near the area, either being natives that don't have any contact with society, or people that just live there, like the families of the people that work in this gold business, and to the animals that live around the area, like wildlife, that the only kind of like food they get is the ones that they can find in nature. And if it's already contaminated, they also get contaminated by it, causing them a lot of sicknesses.
Mm-hmm.
I pointed some of them that are um, paralysis, madness, coma, death, and I saw this specific study from a guy named Luis Fernandez from the Carnegie Institute, and they took this study a long time ago, like around 2013, And it was clear that these kind of toxins were affecting a lot of people. But the thing is that I think, or I really believe that back in the days it wasn't a priority to like act, to assess these kind of issues. That's why Peru didn't join the Minamata agreement till 2016.
Mhm.
The thing is that
Perfect.
um, the effects, the actual effects of being poisoned with mercury doesn't show immediately. It takes several years to do so. It can even take generations to show, actually, because the main target of mercury illnesses are women that are fertile, like from 16 to 49 years. And mercury is directly injected into babies if you're pregnant. So babies are born with, I have it pointed out here, severe neurological damage. So it's something that is passed down, that it can be passed down. And it's permanent. It's not like, oh, just get a little treatment. And the companies aren't going to pay for the little treatment, because if they don't pay for for like the good I don't know, machinery or method to deal with this mercury, they're not gonna pay you like for all the damage they're causing you. And even if they could, how much could they offer for a life? So um
Yeah.
they did this study
And did you
and
find, sorry that I interrupt you a little bit, did you find some judicial process about it? Maybe some process that now are going, or maybe that finish and you get a result, or not yet?
I think I found one, not specifically about this one, but I found one that I'm trying to use for the paper that we are going to send you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like an older case, so laws kind of change, because like if I focus on this specific case, this was before the Minamata, before like trying like before Peru kind of felt like obligated to regulate it, and even then, these kind of cases still happened. So I'm trying to implement that in my paper for for Sunday.
Okay, perfect. And with all the information that you get, what do you conclude? What is
Uh,
your conclusion?
I think that if they actually put attention and give time to these kind of issues, they could be easily solved, because there is methods to prevent these kind of things. Like,
Mhm.
do people stop just doing things with mercury? No, they found a way to still be able to extract these kind of things, to still work with gold, but without causing any damages. And they could do that. They can really
Mhm.
do that if they propose to do it. Because nowadays, if you just the idea was like just ban gold, just ban mercury, well, you're gonna affect like the damage is already done. Plus there is like I think I've noted here, like almost half of the people living here worked in that business. So you're gonna affect them greatly. Like they are already sick, and now they're gonna be in poverty. So you can't do that. Like, you can't just be like, you can go to the extreme of being too permissive, or going to the other extreme of not care for these people and just being like, no, you're not going to do that anymore. And if you don't give any supervision, they're going to still do it. And maybe in even worse conditions, because now they're not even being like, okay, I'm already breaking the law. So why even follow the little ones that I followed before? Now I'm just going to break all them. Because if I'm already breaking them, then why not break them all? So, yeah, this should be really checked, because joining, you can join as many treaties as you want, you can create as much laws you want, you can create as much days, because they even create a day to culture people, like to show them that water is important, and that keeping our natural resources is important. But if you don't actually do anything past that, it's not gonna help in any way. They're gonna help in any way. People are gonna still die, and people are gonna still gonna die, get sick. So they need to work on it. Like they're waiting too much. They're waiting too long to do something. Like they waited too long to even join a treaty, to even acknowledge that it was a problem. And now they're waiting too long to actually make those promises that they made in the treaty, that they said, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this system, I'm gonna do this these methods or whatever. They're not doing them effectively. So
Yeah, because sometimes the use of this method is so expensive. And if you need to expend, first you are like putting in risk and you're trying to take some parts of gold. That is really hard. But if I need to spend some money, like and invest, would be so hard on my business, as or in this illegal sector, want to works. Never. That is the like the first big trouble about the invests and about the productions of these illegal extractions, because the less thing that they are doing is like a balance about invest and in the income and all the profits that we are getting. No, they just need money. So for, as you said, for all the knowledge and how they didn't get it, sadly, they take decisions that affect not just them, that affect us. So if you could take a decision because you belongs to the government and you have a lot of power and resources, what do you think that will be the first decision that you will take for try to solve this huge trouble?
take them out of the anonymous formal business. I will tell them, like, you can be, like, you can do your business. I'm not gonna take it away. You can do that, but I can help you to do it in a responsible way. I can if you let me supervise this thing, if you let me do this thing, I can support your business. I'm not trying to use so that you don't have any money or you fall into poverty. I want to make
Mm-hmm.
this business something sustainable, something that will not only give you profit now, but that will give you profit here to other 100 years. I want to make it sustainable. So it's a win-win. Like, I win because I keep my natural resources and people don't get sick, so you don't have to face these huge lawsuits or anything, and you can still do your business. So I guess it's something fair to do. It will take time. I guess it will take time, and it will take, like, especially money. But if you
Yeah.
try to support them with, like, okay, I can finance this, like, if you implement this method, if the cost is, I don't know, $100, it is not, but if it's $100, I can give you 80, and you can pay me. Like, you're gonna pay me at some point. I'm gonna get my money back. But the thing is that the 80 that I'm paying now are what I would pay in giving healthcare to the people that get infected with mercury.
Okay. That's a really nice solution. So it's important that in the paper that you will present on weekend, you put the conclusion, because always it's important to show that are you proposing something, that are you like, yes, this is the problem, or yes, so sorry for all of us, bye. No, it's important that you always propose. And of course, and when you are talking about all academical stuff, and even for some trials, will be so useful that you put your final idea, it's like your conclusion, and also some possibilities that can get the government or that can get some parts of this huge trouble for find a way to fix all this situation that is connected with the trouble that you proposed at the beginning, right? So it's the way that you close all the idea. And remember that is just one page. It's not necessary that you write a book. So no worries at all. Do it in your own words. And I will send you later all the my email, and you can send it before midnight of Sunday. Okay, thank you so much for your intervention. It was lovely. I will please ask you that you fill the survey. And it's a really interesting topic. And also, this is like not so formal, but when you talk or you want to publish, it's so important that all the studies and the reference, the name of this researcher is really important, but always put it in notes. Like, where did you take this information? Because that will give you credibility, right? It's not that I am saying this. This is a result, this is happening. And then you put like the university, the year, who do the study, where the study was published. All this information always will help to push your study up. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect. So I will see you the next week. Enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Ciao, Laleska. Thank you. Everything going. Can you listen to me? I cannot. I cannot listen to you. Speak. No, I cannot listen. I guess that will be necessary that you connect your phone again. Hello. Perfect. How are you?
Thank you for asking. How are
Perfect. You? How is everything? I am fine. Thank you. Now I can see you and I can listen to you. Perfect. So we will start with our activity. I want that you explain to me which topic did you choose? What is the problem? How are you taking an account or how are you analyze this topic from the order, from some final decision, law, article, like which or how you are comparing this topic, and also what is your conclusion or your final analysis about it.
okay? On November the 26th, 2019, the government announced that they would be that they already signed a law to combat plastic pollution and protect the environment. So basically, they were providing all the companies who work with plastic bags a 6-month period in where all of the companies should educate consumers about the changes that were applying 6 months later. Okay, so basically, the government was providing the merchants with 6 months for education, and then after those 6 months, the law would be was about taking time. Okay, so starting on June the
Mhm.
1st, 2020, all of the supermarkets and companies who work with plastic bags, they should avoid providing the consumers with plastic bags. Okay, basically the government established this law because they said that there was environmental damage because of the plastic bags, because of the time that it would be taken to be consumed, and all of the pollution that it can cause in the ground, in the water, and in the air. And basically it was related also to the pollution that we were um, that we were causing on rivers and on our sea. Okay,
Okay.
so um, it's not just about plastic bags. Also, plastic straws are now prohibited. But now I think that they have been a little they are now a little flexible because of the COVID-19. Now the restaurants and people who work
Mm-hmm.
serving food, they are now again providing their consumers with straws when we are buying something for drink. But this is something, it's like an special measure that they established because of the COVID-19. Okay, so the education to all of the people who live here in Costa Rica was related in three different, they call it, let's see here, the name of it, okay, the 3 R's scheme. Okay, basically the number one was about reducing the amount of waste that we were producing or causing, then reusing all of the materials that we can, and then the number three would be to recycle all of the waste that we were generating. Okay, so the government is like establishing.
Perfect. And do you think that will be or how do you think that oh sorry, I am having like troubles, connection troubles. So let me know, please, Francella, like from which point of view do you do the interpretation? How you can like compare these two stages, and what is your conclusion?
Okay, I found
I
that
guess
the
that the
law was
internet is so bad today.
delayed.
Do you listen everything that I
Mhm.
say?
Yes, but it seems like it has like a delay when you're talking and I'm talking, so
It's my
my
internet.
person is thinking that we can be cut off. Okay, so
Yes,
can you
I am
repeat
listening.
the
So
question?
so
What is my conclusion about it? And what was the first question?
yeah, like how did you manage the interpretation issue? Like how are you interpreting this stage? Or what is the problem or interpretation that you find in this specific situation or
Okay,
problem?
this is a problem that is been affecting us and it is affecting all of the environment.
Yeah.
And well, we found that there was trash thrown away, and it was most of the trash was involving plastic material. So now we are like it is like encouraging people here in Costa Rica to change the way that we have been living during all of our lives. Now we should carry our own biodegradable. How can I say
That you can
biodegradable?
say like all this ecological.
Okay, all of us should be carrying
Es como un
ecological
producto ecológico. Or eco product.
friendly.
Eco
Okay.
product.
Okay, so all of us
It's
should be
really bad.
carrying.
It's my internet.
So every time that you're going to the supermarket, you should carry your bag, and it is making us to think how can we help the environment, and how can we avoid like continue with the pollution that we are causing here. Now, my conclusion is that since this is something that is really new, we know that it has been happening in other places around the world, that they have that they are used to recycle, to reduce and reuse. This is something that we need to apply here, because otherwise our next generations are not going to find a good place to live or a nice place to live.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
it's a change in our minds that we should include, or that we should. I think
So
we
if I
are
am
on time to
understanding,
apply.
yeah, Francela, if I am understanding, all the interpretation issue is like following the thing, like it's a trouble that we are having as a human beings, right? This is happening all around the world. So the problem from the law or the interpretation is how Costa Rica are following some methods or some process to help that the problem don't continue growing, right? That the trouble don't continue out of control, right? So I guess, like as you're planning, the conclusion will be not just the result as the law or as the order or final decision. It's like how you will implement it. That this is the, because they do it already, but how is this process going? The people, yes, the people are following the rules.
We are following, yes, we're
But
following.
why?
Okay?
Because of all
Why?
the green conscious.
We're more conscious now about the damages that we're causing. And since this is allowed, this is something that everyone in Costa Rica should respect if you live here. So it's something that now it became mandatory to all of us who live here in Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Did you listen
as
to
I told
everything I
you,
said, or?
all this interpretation thing. Yes, I am listening with delay, but I am listening.
Okay.
All the interpretation or the way that you will manage your question is all the rules or in this pandemic or whatever you need to put limits in your article, it's really effective. That is the question. Is effective or no? Or maybe we have some changes on the behavior of the Costa Rican people, but just a little bit. And as I told you at the end of the La Lesca, then you need to propose something, because you know that the policy is working right now, but you know that you can improve it. So it's your analysis or of interpretation if it's really working, and if it's not working or you can find some mistakes or some troubles on all this development, how do you fix it? That is your proposal issue. I think that the government should put some, I don't know, some courses about all the environment and taking of all our wasted and manage better our resources. Or maybe we should just put some fees to these plastic products and makes that the people pay more, right? So
Okay.
that is important that you connect it. The topic is perfect. I really like it. And you have a lot of researches, articles, a lot of online huge studies from huge universities that they talk about the consequences, how you can find plastic on oceans and on food and all these little particles that or parts on food or on fish also that are against the health. So you can start to put in the first paragraph, that is like when you are sustaining, why did you choose this problematic? You can say something like that. It's not just so huge, no, just a line when you explain. And we know that some of the consequences are blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yes, but the topic is really interesting. I really like it. And it's something that we cannot avoid. For me, it's really hard. Sometimes I go into the market and I realize that I don't take my plastic back when I am there. And it's like, oh, sorry, planet. Then it's so hard to change that. It's so hard. So maybe one other thing that can do the government, for example, can be like show one of the plastic islands that we get. I don't know, a square in the main square of Costa Rica, in the main square of Costa Rica, no, in the main square of San Jose in Costa Rica, or in the most important cities there, and how you would call the attention of the people for change their mind, be like more effective.
Okay.
But everything is perfect. The way that are you talking about, and all the like all the development in the mark on the framework of this pandemic, you can talk about that also. Like, can be the beginning, right? Like in this 2020 pandemic, or in this coronavirus pandemic, we understood the and what issues that maybe you didn't consider before.
Yes, because my concern is that we were
And you
doing our job about avoiding using plastic, but now that the
like,
pandemic came, um, plastic straws are now being given when you're buying something to drink. So we're not moving forward with that. This is something that is making us to go back.
of course, and it's not just that, it's all the implements, all the gloves, all the face masks, all the liver food that you're buying. Everything becomes like impossible to go out of this circle of plastic. It's just not possible. Did you see that? So I guess that you need to explain how this is so important, and why, as the government, or what is the main reason that the government needs to understand and give attention to this issue, and put efforts, money, and policies, and public policies, statutes, etc. Perfect. So, Francela, thank you so much for your time. I would please ask you that you fill the survey, and I will see you the next week.
Is there a way in, because on Monday I have accounting classes, is there a way in where I can go first on this Monday?
No worries. First, or it's impossible to you, just drop me a message, and we organize it for other day. We stay longer, or we start
It's
before.
because we still have pending one of the speaking calls for,
No
and
worries.
I don't want
No
to
worries. We can
accumulate.
we can do it like half an hour. We organize the day, for example, on Tuesday or Wednesday. We organize the day, and we do it like half an hour.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. I will see you soon.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay. Bye bye. Hello. Ana Maria, how are you? I'm having really bad connection today. Hello, hello. Are you here? Anna, hello.
Hello.
How are you? How is everything going? Hello, hello. Mm. Hello. Can you
Hello.
listen? Hello,
Yeah.
how are you? Can
Fine,
you
and you?
listen?
Yes.
Yes, I am fine. But it's really hard because I am having a really bad signal all these days because here is raining too much and
Really?
it's like freezing. But this is affecting the connections. I don't know. The internet is just so bad. So sorry for that. And tell me, how are you?
I'm really good. I'm on vacations right now,
Hello.
so I'm really happy.
Perfect. So when you are on vacations, please we can reorganize the session. We can do it another day.
It's
Have
okay.
vacation is always so important. Okay,
Don't worry.
perfect.
It's okay.
So tell me, what do you think that is the huge or the biggest struggle in talking about environmental law? Like, which topic did you choose, and which article, final decision, or law did you choose for competitive, and what is your conclusion?
Well, I start with the question like, what is the big problem with environmental law? And I realized that sometimes it's like a fight between progress and environmental law. You know, it's like a pressure that we talked yesterday about that. I just started checking news of my country and I saw a news about trolling law. Let me translate: pesca de arrastre, de camarón. And I started watching and reading a lot of that, and there something really strange happened in Costa Rica because we had a law for that that was submitted by the Congress in 2003, but there something constitutional happens, and Constitutional Court of Costa Rica decided that it's forbidden, and they can't do it anymore. They only can produce shrimps in lagoons and in a controlled way. They can do it like in trolling. It's forbidden in every way. The fact that the most important thing that the Constitutional Court says is that the shrimp are the less affected by that kind of fishing because all the biodiversity of the seas is getting trapped between that nets, and that I made that we are affecting the thing that we are most proud of, the protection of the biodiversity. So that was the first point that the Constitutional Court had. But last year, we the Congress of Costa Rica decided to revert that law. They were trying to, because obviously financial issues, and even when I start really reading about it, there was an investigation that says that one of the members of the Congress was the owner of one industry of shrimp that will be benefit with that law. So I think it's like, okay, all fits. So it was like a huge bomb in Costa Rica because everyone was like, okay, the law says it's forbidden. The Constitutional Court says, no way. Why? The Congress is trying to revert this thing and make it legal again. So it was that fight that I was talking at the beginning of progress and environmental law. And it was a lot of fights. We had march, protests, even persons that get handcuffed in the Congress. It was really hard because even little fishermen were against the law because that thing that law affects their jobs. So all this trouble happens, and like in October last year, the president of Costa Rica expressed the veto, the total veto of that law. So the revert is gone, it's not happening. And after that, I read a lot of stuff because I really want to know why, or the principal reason that the president gave to the Congress and to the people of Costa Rica about why he stopped the law. And he says, or the scientific research that he mentioned says that scientific analysis brought that they don't have enough scientific and technical elements to support the sustainability of the technique. And it was really interesting. I want to share this with you because the project of the revert of the law says that it was the perfect technique. It was the more healthy way to get into that kind of fishing. I was like, so who's giving this information to the Congress? Who is giving this information really wrong, and how they don't care about the diverse things that happen here? You know that Costa Rica, we are really blessed with nature in many ways, and they didn't even consider that. And when you read the project, you see that they even never mentioned the word nature in every way. So I really got into that. And he tells that the biggest reason is that, and that he will put environmental law first before that kind of progress that doesn't even benefit. I can't say that word. Oh my God. Benefits the towns or benefits the population, just a little bit of people. So he said no, and thank God it didn't happen, and we are out of the trolling law, and that's my homework though.
Okay, perfect. So basically part of the trouble now is solved. So I guess that the way that you will redact your article, if you didn't do it before, and now just because you tell me that you're on vacations and I don't want to be rude, you can like whatever that you want to present it in the next week, do it. It's not necessary that you do it on Sunday, because enjoy your time, take advantage of this free time that you get there, and no worries. I really appreciate that you've been here when you have like a live there. So takes your time when you can. get it. But some of my suggestions for redact this article will be the next ones. First, you can talk about how corruption will make like the really bad environmental consequences for a community or for a country. And then you talk about this example. Then you can also propose how you can be against of these kind of interests of the so powerful people as
Yes.
you belong to the government. Like, what do you propose? What is your proposal? What is the solution?
Okay.
But also, when you create like a trouble, you will speak as an interpretation issues and you will create a question. So something like in Costa Rica, um, the economical power take influence in the environmental decisions. It is corruption or something like that. Call the attention of the people that are, because you know that we make tests because we need that someone read it, right? That in this case, it's me. But then
Yeah.
you can maybe publish anywhere or from newspaper, for a blog, for just an opinion. And it's important that we start to analyze this from the like juridical point of view, from the law. So how we can manage that as a lawyers, how we can protect these really important decisions, maybe a forum, maybe a group of interest, maybe some people that oversee all the process of one of these environmental laws from other countries, maybe one panel of experts. So can that you proposed like in the last paragraph, like connected with the conclusion, this is the problem, this is happening, you can see it in this case, but we can see it in others, but just for today focus in this case. We cannot continue like this because we are continue having really bad consequences, and not just the Costa Rican community, just like you can put like some that is not drama but it's real life.
Yes.
Because when you are affecting like this one ecosystem, the consequences for that will affect us, direct or indirect, but will affect us, all of us. So it's
Totally.
important that you redact it in that way. And also, I suggest you that put some notes when you talk about the law, about the decision, or about when you speak, for example, Pepito Perez, the owner of this market, whatever. And then that information, you didn't put it on the paper. You put it in a note. So Pepito Perez, 1. It's important to understand that Pepito Perez is the owner of the company called Etoile. The final, I don't know, or the market of this company is basically commercialized, blah, 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 from or since 2017, they are taking influence in the decision of the Congress, right? All the opposition and all the political opposition that you will put against him, never put it in the article, because that will affect like all the academical issue. It's better because it's like a political stuff and it's like not the base of the article. You put it into a note and then the people can create their own idea and their own point of view. And yeah, I guess that is all. And no worries, you send me this homework. You told me, Gali, I will send you the next week. Now turn on your chat and go and enjoy to the pool with your family, with your friends, with whatever that you be in this moment. And hopefully I can see you soon the article and I can read it, but also I can like take some of your experience of this process, and also if you can like complement with some administrative law because it's your hard part. And yeah, you can put some of that. The idea is that you create something, of course in English, and that you push yourself to create a document giving your opinion. That is not easy. Will takes a little bit of time.
Yes.
And I will see you the next week. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much,
And please,
Gabi.
I will ask you, do you feel this?
I think I already did.
Yes, you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do it. And I will see you soon. So you just drop me a
Have
message
a nice
because I will
weekend.
tomorrow to take notes. But drop me a message and tell me when you can send it to me.
I promise.
Okay. Okay. Enjoy it too much. Enjoy for me.
Thank you. I promise that.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Yeah. Bye. Silvana, how are you? I was sending you a message. Like, hey, thank you for telling me. How are you?
I'm good.
Nice,
Can you
nice,
hear me now?
nice.
Yeah.
Yes, I am having really bad connection today because here it's raining a lot, and I guess that affects the communication, I don't know, all these engineering troubles, issues. So sorry if we are having some delay. It's not my fault. And how are you?
I'm good. Definitely.
Okay, nice. So I have an idea about your proposal, but I want that you please explain it to me in your own words. Show me all the trouble and all the concerns. How do you think that from law we can take some part of the trouble and be part of the solution also? And yeah, that's it. I am listening.
Okay. Well, as you noticed, I had to have this relationship between the Rio Declaration, the Peruvian regulation, and a particular case that is about well, two parties. The first one was a neighbor from Bellavista, Callao. Sorry, Guayas, something like that. I don't remember the surname. And the
No
other
worries,
part
no
was
worries.
Praxair Peru, which is part of the gas industry. So they have the whole factory near some neighborhoods of Callao, which is of course a part of the capital city. So we have a lot of factories here because we never thought that we will grow that in that proportions. Well, and the problem starts when this factory has this environmental impact studies, and they had everything good, but the point was that the factory chimney wasn't working that good, so they of course had to put some covers because they work with chemicals, with, yeah, with chemicals. And for sure the neighbors start to inhaling a lot of unknown chemicals, and also something like nitrogenous or something very toxic chemicals, and they start with these respiratory diseases as allergies. Sometimes it wasn't also more than respiratory, also with skin problems. And then they had noise pollution because the factories are working more than the 8 hours that they have permitted per day. So this was a whole process because the final decision that I have is from the Constitutional Tribunal. So it has a lot of instance, like free. And that's why they started this procedure, and I explained there how we have this, how we comply the Rio Declaration with all our legislation, but it's all theory. because in the practical field we see that it's a huge problem, because you can calculate this negative impact in our citizens. That's why when they start doing some campaigns about environment, and they start doing it by districts, but then when you see the enterprises, the industry, you see that they didn't follow the procedure of the environmental impact studies. So it's how to balance this economy and this civil society wellness and the environment. That's how I try to propose today.
Okay. And tell me, please, how do you think that maybe some policies can prevent these kind of issues, or prevent that this kind of processes starts? What do you think that is the key part where the government can take advantage of the situation, or how can create an precedent about it and helps that these don't happen anymore?
Okay, I think that we have a lot of departments that has responsibility here, because it's not only the environmental department, it's also industry and economic, I guess, economic department also. So in the way that we have interrelated system, we can manage better this kind of environmental policies that we already have. I mean, the problem for me is now that we don't have a law or legislatures or cases before, and we can, I mean, we have this responsibility to do it better. Is the thing that we cannot execute the legislation good. So I can see as a solution that maybe we can capacitate more our workers in the environmental department as to give this service, or to accomplish that function of monitoring and control of the studies. Because once you approve this study, you have to keep monitoring, and I see that they maybe control the first year of the factory, but then it's when the problems started.
Sorry, I was like with the microphone, and it's like, yes, okay. But do you think that if you can create a policy or a statement, or you can like start a process that helps in these kind of situations, what do? Like specifically, do you do a policy? Do you do maybe some campaign of education, or how do you proceed?
I will use a policy that like using the Rio Declaration actually as for example, you have in the Rio Declaration of this, the states have the duty of, right? So you can put like the enterprise has a duty of, or the civil society have. So like replace the names, the concepts, just to focus on what we can do as a private sector, as a nation, not exactly as big as state sounds. Or maybe also more campaigns, or maybe say if you have this social responsibility in your enterprise, you have some benefits, or taxes or stuff like that.
And tell me, how do you because you know that for becomes a law, you need to put it in the Congress, right? Same that in our countries. So if you want to create one of these decisions, you need to take in account some specific and private interests that be around of this. Maybe some of them suggest or support all these decisions because you can have benefits and taxes and etc. But maybe some people in the Congress, that is one simple example. Maybe they have a lot of interest more than you think in some of these issues. So how do you can solve this problem?
Wow, it's an interesting question actually, because when you think in Congress, well, for me in Peru, when I thinking my Congress, I see these people is not prepared to to regulate this country, so it's hard to believe that they can also promote environmental protection. So how could I do it? Maybe I don't know. I had to start the political the political groups again because it's very hard to find people that is gonna see like farther than their own interests, because more of them are there because they have families that have these huge enterprises, or they're all politicians. And for me it's a hard question. But maybe if I find some group of people that had already lived in places that have been vulnerable, or already have this rights violation with environmental rights, maybe they can like have the idea of how this can be better for the whole nation, not only for some regions in our country.
If I give you some options and you can just choose one,
Okay.
do you think that who can change a country? The society or the politicians? And why? Just choose one. Do you think that if we are having troubles with environment, who is more responsible than the other and why?
Okay. I can say the society, because politicians are also part of the society and we choose them. So and also if we see that politicians are not working as we want, we have the power. We have shown that a couple of times, I guess, against politicians that are there just because they want to do something like personal interest. So we can, as a society, come together and say, okay, this is not right. We can do it better. We need better politicians. I think we have a responsibility also, because we have to create this system in our houses, in our neighborhoods. I mean, start growing houses, neighborhoods, districts, and regions. So we also have the responsibility to protect our nature. In this case, we can do something.
Okay. Do you think that maybe the population of Peru didn't get some mechanism for change or create or propose something different or someone different in all these issues? Or they have the mechanisms, but maybe it's so hard to use it and one common person cannot get access to this?
Yeah, well, as a citizen, we have the access of the information. Of course, if it's confidential, we cannot access. Then we have this like right to confirm a group and be part of an NGO, maybe that it's related to environmental law. And I know a lot of people from my school that they're cleaning the beaches, or they are producing some bags with from recycling. So I think we can do it as a society.
Okay, that is really nice.
We have the mechanisms. I think that the point is that we have to do it more, or more people. We need more people in that field.
Okay, perfect. So I guess that the only thing that I need to put like in your consideration, if you want to take it, like my point of view, it's to, when you are creating the conclusion, of course that now we get a conclusion that is like more inspirational, and it's true. We need to start from that. But I also suggest you, like, a part of this that is the reality and is the way that we can solve it. You propose some like, from the law, how you can solve this issue. And it's just a proposal. You put it as example, and you put it at the end. After your conclusion, you say like, and on another hand, or finally, and just for this reason, I propose, I suggest, we need to, and then you put the judicial part or the law part, and then after that you can close with all the experience. Like, for me, it's truth and the way that I'm just saying it, but needs to be like legal, but also that makes that the people can reflection about it. And then you will get, like, the final part is so important in all these texts, because the people always forget the last thing that they read, and they will start overthinking about it. So that is keyword. But also you need to show yourself as a lawyer, because you are. So if you are like a lawyer, or you are environmentalist, and you are working on these kind of issues so deeply, that will help to your profile and etc. But in your case, like, are you talking about, because you always told me that, are you like so in love with corporative world? It's not the performance that you want to show. You need to show yourself as really qualified lawyer that can analyze and solve these kind of issues. So I guess that the only thing that I will suggest is try to put it in your article, like a really legal solution. So for example, take one mechanism in your constitution and propose that, simplify it. How we can make that the people get related in these issues. How we can fix this, right? But you are suggesting, you are proposing, and that always makes that one article just not say like, oh yes, this is the problem, so bad, we will die together, thank you so much for your time. No, it's like, yes, we are dying, but we need to change this. And my point of view as a lawyer is like, we need to modify this. It's not the solution, like the final solution, but it's the first step, and we can continue moving forward. And like the idea, or the flavor that you get is quite different. So that is the only thing that I would suggest, because then maybe you can try to publish in some blog, or in some opinion program, or in some just online. And how you are doing that in English, you will make that more people read it. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. Before you leave, I will please ask you that you fill the survey.
I already filled it.
Thank you. Yes, I got it. I have 5. And I will see you there next week.
Okay, thank you.
Enjoy your
Guys.
weekend.
Bye.
Okay, bye bye.
Maria.
Maria, hello. Sorry that I take 2 minutes more, but we will finish 2 minutes later. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay, perfect. So please, we will start to discuss the topic, or the problem that you choose, how we can manage it, or which with other decision, order, law, final decision issues. We will compare it, and then what is your conclusion?
Okay. Well, here in Peru, we have a regulation of national standards of environmental quality for noise. And this case that
Yeah.
I've chosen is about air pollution and also some impacts on the sounds. Well, first of all, there has been a case in the Constitutional Court here in Peru. I think, well, we have a really big problem here. For example, and I think it's not only just in Peru, I think it's in a lot of countries of Latin America. But the zoning is not very good at here. Is, for example, I have a house here in Lima, and next to my house you can find, I don't know, a restaurant, and at the back another restaurant, and in front of my house you could find a hospital. But you don't have a specific place. Like, this is a residential. No, I think it is not like that. Like, this is not like a space for houses or homes. Now, some
Residential.
other, sorry,
Residential.
residential. Yes, I'm sorry. So this is not like a residential space just for houses and homes. Everything's combined here. Everything's mixed. So we have that problem. And for example, I can find a company that is next to my house, and that company can maybe have a little, or not a little, have pollution and make really loud noises that can affect the people who are living close by. So this case is about that. And for example, in this case, the Constitutional Court said that yes, the company that is very close to a residential area, I forget the word, sorry, that is very close to this area, had to make like very, very loudly noises, and also they affected some people there. Yes, they did. But also the Constitutional Court said that there was not like a big harm, and that this regulation, yes, they exceeded the standard of this regulation. However, this act allows a period of adaptation that can be given up to 5 years. So the Constitutional Court said that, okay, there is no problem, just forget it. We are done with this case. But the people there who are living next to these areas, they really felt affected about it. And we found in the scientific proofs that the standard was exceeded. And according to Rio Declaration of 1992, we can observe the precautionary principle. Principio. It sounds like a
Yes, it's
principle from
principle.
school. Yeah,
No,
the
no, 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 no. Yes,
the,
it's good.
the precautionary principle that indicates that in danger of serious and irreparable harms, the lack of scientific certainty is not necessary to prevent harm. So in this case, you didn't have like the scientific test. You did have the scientific test that showed you that they exceeded this kind of levels, and they were not like important for them. And I personally consider that the precautionary principle was not well applied to this case. Another thing that we need to follow is that in the 2030 agenda is also connected to this case, because there is another objective there. I think it's the number 11. It's like this objective is looking forward to make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, and sustainable. And this is the reason why the government should pay attention to correct the zoning that of this area and avoid residential area being mixed with an industrial one.
And do you think that this situation is something that the government can solve? And if the answer is yes, what do you think that is the first thing that they should do for fix or for start to fix this issue?
Well, first of all, stop giving like permissions to companies that you know that they are going to be next to houses or homes. Because here we have a lot of that and we don't care. It's like, okay, well, yeah, you can be there. And just that they are not very, I don't know, they are not very focused on that. They need to start being more focused on that. I've went to the United States, I think, yes, 2 years ago. No, 1 year ago. I was there 1 year ago. And I found that, for example, supermarkets are very, very, I don't know, really close to homes, hotels, the places where you can look for entertainment or something like that. They are not close to homes. They are not
Yeah,
close.
like urban organization.
Yes, they are very organized, and that's something that we really need. We need to separate this to avoid this kind of problems in the environment, because we know some companies, especially for the reasons that they are related for, they are going to have in different kind of levels some environmental issues, and the most healthy solution is that we avoid to be next to these companies. So first of all, we need to change the idea that Peru have, like you can construct a house whatever you want. You can like have your own business whatever you want. And that's another problem here, that some of us, well, not some of us, a lot of Peruvians, they don't care about going to the government and start looking forward to a process to open a company or something like that. They just do it, and that's all. So they don't care about it. I think that's that's a problem not only of the people that are doing that. That's also a problem of the government, because the government needs to give a better solution, a better legal system, so these people can feel free to be legal in this area. Now, I was reading the other day a book, and this book said that they did like an investigation here in Peru of how much and how much time you can expand on open your own company with all the legal system. And they said that in the United States there was like $30 and 1 hour. But here in Peru they expand 3 years, and I don't remember how much, but it was like 1,000 something dollars here in Peru for the same company, and including coimas, I forgot about it. Coimas, o sea, corruption. Well, yeah, including corruption. So they needed to pay some to some governments.
Yeah, or you can say corruption fees. That is like importes. Pues, I mean, see, it's the best thing that you can say it.
Yeah, so including that, and that's not an option. It's yes, it's a problem not only from about the people, it's also a problem of the legal system. We are not creating the necessary system to make things better.
Perfect. And how did you start to redact your paper or not yet?
I did it a little bit. I started with, explaining about the case that I told you and the principles that I found there, and just that I just put it the case and the principles. I did a page, I think.
Okay, no, it's just a page. So it's important that in the conclusion, you put it like from a lawyer point of view, and that you propose some verbs like we need to analyze, we need to figure out, we need to create, we need to expand, we need, and that you proposed like a tangible result, something that be tangible. It's not just, yes, we have this issue, we cannot solve it, it's really hard to solve it. No, it's like, how do you think that can be possible to solve one of these huge issues, right? I guess that is just one suggestion. Apart of that, you can suggest or sustain also in other human rights that are interrelated. Because when you have this kind of contamination, the way that you continue going with your life, it's really different. And also you can sustain in some of researches that maybe they do some investigations in other countries, and then you put it in notes. So you can say, as we know the bad consequences of blah blah blah, and then in bad consequences you put it a note like, please look or search the name of the investigation, and then you are giving them all your opinion, you are giving like sustain, because of course that from your point of view can be like good for, sorry, I need to answer, give me a second.
Okay, don't worry.
Sorry, I just take my phone and I can answer later. So I was telling you that it's important that you present it like more strong in your argument and in your position, not is just a problem that are you seeing, that you are analyze it, but you didn't get like the sustent of this. So if you put that, will be better. But also if you put and you suggest them a solution about it, you are being propositive, and that is always good point of analysis of these areas, because you are trying to create a solution from the law, that is your expertise, that is your profession. So try to analyze how you can solve it, maybe with a new policy, maybe with some education issues, maybe with some administrative development, right? And yeah, that's it. So I will see your paper and I want to give you like a feedback as soon as possible. And thank you so much for your time. I will see you the next week.
Okay, Gali.
And before you go, fill the survey.
Yes, I did it. Gali, where should I send you my essay? To your Gmail or WhatsApp?
Yes. No. To my Gmail, I will send you. Tomorrow. I will send you like my account, and then you will send it.
Okay, I will
It's
do
good.
it.
It's okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello. Thank you so much for connecting before, but a lot of people canceled today, and I have been like waiting, and I have to wait like 1 hour more. So I was like, I start to, hello, how are you? So can you listen? I cannot listen to you.
Yeah, okay. It's just that I press it on my
Perfect.
phone and I have to do it twice, I think. Sorry about that.
No worries. So how are you?
I'm not having the best day. I was like doing my homework all afternoon, very happy, reading, researching, and all of a sudden I had to start to work. And I was doing it just like 5 minutes ago, and
Yeah, no
I'm a
worries.
little bit stressed out. But I have some things that I found, and I plan on making it a little more perfect for the day that we have to present you the paper.
Yeah, now if you have like something from your job that is more important now, don't stress yourself. Just let me the day that you can send it to me and just send it. No worries. That I don't want that you do this with stress. That is the thing that we are always with in our lives. I just want that when you have time and you will enjoy the process of doing the result, you can send it to me. But
Thank you so much.
please
Actually,
send me when you can do it, and that's it. No
thank you so
worries.
much. I actually was going to ask you for permission to submit the paper like maybe Monday, because on Sunday, as you know, we have the voting thing here in Bolivia.
Elections, yeah.
And voting thing. That was so informal. I'm sorry. And that's going to be an all day thing for me. Maybe I can explain you why
Yeah.
later. And I'm not going to be available
No
that
worries.
day.
No worries.
To
Just
be able to
send me
submit.
the day, maybe on Wednesday. You just
Oh,
send me
thank
the
you.
day when you can do it,
Okay.
and because then I can have it present when I start to oversee all these papers.
Okay.
And no worries. But now how I understand you start to do some research. So I get that you
Yeah.
choose already the topic that you want to talk about. So let's
Yeah, I did.
discuss it. Maybe I can give you some ideas, and I will like. First, I want to know the topic. I want to know what article or with which sentence, final decision, law are you contrasting with, and also the conclusion, how you will manage like the structure. And I am ready for a listen.
Okay. So I decided to continue talking about TIPNIS. I don't know if you remember, I talked about it last week. And when you said you can choose from this 7 different problems, and I saw biodiversity, I thought this is my chance to maybe learn a little bit more about that. That impressed me so much. And today it impressed me even more with all the things I read and all the things I found out about it. So I'm going to do that. And there's a lot more information that I found today that is going to be like, it was a little bit overwhelming to know how the situation is right now for those people and how it was. And I would like to talk about that. I was looking for different laws and maybe declarations, international declarations, to help contrast with this law that they enacted. I don't know if that's the correct term, para promulgar.
What do you want to say?
Promulgar.
That they publish. That they
Okay.
publish.
They published this law 969, I think, regarding TIPNIS. Like they changed, they made an annulment for the law that was being applied before, that declared that this is a protected area and it cannot be touched. It cannot be like any construction work. It can't be done there because it's like a jungle. So they made a different law, and they intended to build a road that was going to cut in half the jungle, with the excuse that it would help the life of the different people that are living there. So I found this law and I read it, and I said, okay, now I have to find like a contradiction with a maybe international declaration or a convention, or maybe even the national constitution. So I started like reading over there. I didn't want to use the Universal Declaration of the Rights of Mother Earth. That's what they used like to denunciar this thing before the International Tribunal. But this is not okay.
In the context,
Okay.
sorry. In the context that I'm just saying it, you can say like going against them or sue them or demand them.
Okay.
Right.
Any of those three
And
terms. Okay.
Yes.
So
yes, you can
they
sue them.
They sue them.
I'm not
with these arguments.
having a good connection.
I'm
sorry, did you say something?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's mine.
Yeah, I can see you and hear you well.
Okay,
it's
so
not a good.
you will say like expose them. You can say sue them.
Yeah.
You can say going against them. You can say also you can do a lawsuit like this.
Okay. So they can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So they sued them with this base that they were violating the Universal Declaration of the Rights of Mother Earth. So I read it and I know that it's not legally binding. I don't know. Legally.
Yeah, legally.
Not like
Legalmente
mandatory.
vinculante.
Exactly. So
yeah.
I said, okay.
You can't. So you can't be bound by.
Exactly.
I am having like
so
delay,
said, okay.
But you can't be bound by.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this is not like something that you can actually have like a sentence that has to be cumplida.
Can't be like you can say in this case you can say mandatory, but
okay.
can't maybe the resolution or the final decision don't will have any repercussion that don't will create other legal scenario that will reform the final decision that will yeah, basically one of them you can use it.
Okay, so the sentence is not mandatory. I think the last talk we had, I was talking to you about that sentence that was saying, okay, so you, Bolivia, as a country, are violating the rights of Mother Earth, and you have to stop this and annul the law that you just published and blah, 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 blah. So the government practically left at this decision and they said, okay, we don't care. This isn't mandatory. This is just like a recommendation by ONG in English is national, not, how did you say it was?
Non-governmental organization. So NGO.
NGOs. So this is like a group of NGOs. It's not gonna tell us to do this or don't do that. They just left at it, and that was like the end of it. The project of construction is like stuck right now. I think they were building like 2 or 3 different roads, and they stopped. And meanwhile, they are like torturing the people that are against it. Like it has turned into a political issue, and a lot of people are suffering because of this. What I was reading just right now, like I can use it for the assignment that you gave us, is I think we didn't see this, una acción de inconstitucionalidad abstracta. I don't know if we...
Okay, you can say like, it's like a really specific tool that in your government. Yeah, but you can say like the abstract constitution, or otra vez, repíteme. ¿Cómo es? Acción de inconstitucionalidad.
Sí, abstracta.
Like constitutional act. Yeah, we are having delay. So you can say something like the constitutional, otra vez, acción, like the constitutional action. ¿Qué es lo otro?
Era acción de inconstitucionalidad abstracta, sí. Porque hay dos, hay concreta y hay abstracta.
So, the abstract constitutional actions.
Okay. Okay, abstract
Right?
constitutional
And
actions.
if
Okay.
es abstracta y luego, ¿qué es? ¿Concreta?
Ah, sí, es otro tipo de acción de constitucionalidad.
Sí.
Son dos
So,
recursos.
abstract and concrete. But
Yeah,
you
I'm
can
sorry
talk
about this.
I
I had the intention
no
to look
worries.
for all these terms that I don't have it like here, but I tend to get so stressed. I'm sorry about
no
this.
Worries at all.
So, okay, I had that doubt. I don't know if we can use the Constitution for saying, okay, so this law that was published is not according to the Constitution. It's not, even though they said it was, that's what they decided. They said, okay, this law is actually according to the Constitution, so we are going to still have it. We're going to apply it. So I want to do my assignment with the constitutional thing.
Okay, perfect.
I don't know if
something that I can, yes. Something that I can see from here, it's like, you're so right, but you need to explain, like in the paper, why you take the decision to don't ask for protection of the Declaration of Rights of Mother Earth. You need to explain why, right?
Okay.
Because you cannot be bound by. So you decide, like, ask for the constitutional protection that is the base of your democracy in your country. And if you cannot respect the base of your legal system, all your legal system is a failure. So you need to create that environment on the article. You need to explain why you are not asking for that international protection. But also you can find like some treaties or declarations where you can be bound by. For example, when you are talking about an American Declaration of Human Rights, you can connect it with life, right? About dignity.
Yeah, I actually found about an international instrument that I can use, but I was just about to read it when I started working, and I wanted to know if I can use these three instruments, like the Universal Declaration of the Rights of Mother Earth, the National Constitution, and this other international instrument. I think it was like the Convención de la OIT. I don't know how we say that in English. I'm not sure if that is one. Yeah, Convenio 169 de la Organización Internacional del Trabajo de las Naciones Unidas. And we were, what the lawyers were doing right after they said, okay, this is a constitutional law and it's going to stay here. They wanted to take it to an international level and even talk about human rights that can be like a little bit more bounding, I think. But I just wanted to, I think I have to make some research about what they could say to defend this, including the human rights of these people.
Okay. Perfect. Something important that you need to know, because we didn't show it like in our lesson, is the International Labor Organization, the OIT. And also you can found the way to defend everything connecting with other rights that are also recognized in some really huge instrument that is the American Convention of Human Rights. When you connect this right to explain, that is the base for continue having a life in Bolivia, and you need to be so realistic how this can basically destroy the best or the huge part of biodiversity, and that will continue affecting. And it's a way also to use you use the connections with
Okay.
life, with integrity, with dignity, right? And just send it.
Okay,
Important
so
thing that you don't will spend one paragraph just talking about all the organizations. You just you just put like on notes. You put this convention is bounding the Bolivian government because of blah blah blah, blah, right? All the information you put it in notes, and it's just
Okay.
one paper. But if you put like some examples as the international treaties of human rights that protect this issue, like this, and more, and will be perfect. But also you can like develop the idea and you can say like, I am asking for protection or all these legal instruments because if I focus just in the one that you told me before, we
yeah,
can have the risk that we didn't can get protection. So for that reason,
yeah,
I am going to the base or a legal system, that is the constitution. And then you can talk about conventional protection, right?
okay,
Because the constitution in Bolivia is like in the framework of international agreements. So it's
yeah,
supposed that
exactly.
any constitutional issues can't go against the international law and international treaties and protecting life. So you can just say it quickly. And also, the last thing that I want to tell you is that you try to suggest or propose one solution for this issue. That, but
Yeah,
from the law. It's like we need to advance in political issues. We need to create a new legal system. We need to create one group of experts that can analyze this issue, etc., etc., etc.
yeah, I was
Right?
wondering if I can, okay, thank you so much. I was wondering if I can do the paper like supposing that I am the lawyer that is defending all of these rights and this biodiversity to make it like step by step. First, I do it here in my country. I say, okay, this law has to be annulled. And if they say no, then I can go to the international community to look for more protection. I was wondering if I can do it from that point of view, like designing like a plan and putting my point of view and
Yes.
maybe suggesting more things in the end of my paper.
Yes, it's perfect because the thing that I want is that you produce with sense, that you can sit and you can start to create and produce. And if for you makes easier to this process, trying to do it as a defendant, for me would be
Yeah.
great. I will read it, whatever that you want to create, but don't stress too much. It's just a paper, and
It's,
yeah,
it's
uh, no,
my
just
job
just a
was
paper,
stressing me.
and try. Yeah, and try to do from the intervention of a lawyer that you are. How do you create it? In someone in Canada, read it, will understand all the troubles that are you trying to show to the world. That is the thing. And finally, that this told me one really important professor that I had before, and is the solution, the final opinion, the final flavor that you get when you finish to read the article is what kind of lawyer are designing this, right?
Yeah.
Try to always think that you need to do a performance. You are not talking as Laura. You are talking as a lawyer that are working on environmental issues. So you need to sound not just an environmentalist. You need to sound professional. And I guess that will help if you put in the paper if you are defending this area, right? So yeah, that's just my suggestions, and I will be waiting for your paper, whatever that you want. Just drop me a message because I understand the thing with job, and I am not bad. Just a little bit, but not in these cases. And yeah, thank you so much for your time. Before you leave, I will please ask you that you fill the survey. And
Yeah,
that's
sure.
it. I will see you the next week.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice weekend.
Okay, thanks to you. You too. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Daisy, hello, good night. Thank you so much for connected before, because some people just canceled or didn't present, and I don't want to stay here like until 9 waiting for some signal. So please let me know which topic did you choose, why, what is the trouble that are you seeing right now, how you can solve it, and what is your proposal.
Sorry. So I choose.
No worries.
I choose
Silencio, estoy trabajando. No
water.
worries, that happens to me all the time.
I choose water quality, and it's about my constitution. I mean, the constitution of my country, El Salvador, because in the first article, well, before it says that everyone have a rights about life, dignified life, education, etc. But the last year, on October, the government changed a little this article and add the right of water. So in El Salvador, the water is like free because the company that provide water is from the government, but it doesn't mean that you don't have to pay, because you have to pay for the water, for the service, but it's not too expensive. I mean, it's too cheap. Like you pay $2 or $3 for the water per month, and this is the this is good for the people, for the people, for families, because the water is cheap and it's like the government. But in these last years, many people of the government with, I mean, um, people who has many companies wants to buy the company of the government of the water that it's called ANDA. ANDA is who distribute the water, but these people wants to buy the company, and I mean private. I mean turn the water private, and this is a problem for the country, because if the water turns private, you will pay a lot of money, and not everybody will have the access to the water, because now that we have the water public, many people don't have access to water, because I don't know, they don't have the resources to pay $3-4 per month, or they don't have the system that the water uh, for they have water in their home, and the government don't do anything for these families. I mean, the government don't care about that. So if the company turns private, these families won't have any opportunities to have water in her families. At least they pay that, and they don't have money for pay that. So um, I think that this article is an obligation for the government, because it's written in the constitution. It's wrote in the constitution that everybody have rights about water. So I think that the government could or must be more care of these people, these, because it's not few people, it's a lot of people that don't have water in places that you can imagine that people can live in these places. So the government must have more care for these families. I mean, for the water, can these families can have the water in her families. I don't know if you understand me, what I'm
Yes,
trying
I
to say.
understand you. Like the people cannot, yes, I am understanding everything. The people cannot get all the benefits from clean water and etc. because they cannot afford it, they cannot pay for it, for the service, right?
Yes, and another problem is that in a study made the last year, the 18.5% of all the water of the country is contaminated. So, I mean, or rivers, many people that live for rivers now they can't because the rivers are contaminated, so they can use this water for drink, for wash, for agriculture, and just 6% of the water is available to drink. So there are many projects of students that solve this problem, but the government don't give um, the enough
Support.
support for do it. For example, when I was in second year of bachillerato, I realized in the science feria, I don't know how to say it. So in my
Yeah,
in my
as you can say, like first, you can say something like in the science area, but also you can say in the scientific courses or what more? Exposition, like in
yeah.
the science
So
expositions
with my team in
or
this event,
science hall.
science hall, okay. So in this science hall, I mean, with my team, we were working in this project all the year, reading, investigating, reading, more investigating, doing experiments. So
Sorry. The best thing that you can say here is doing research, como haciendo investigación, doing research.
So we were doing a lot of research about this project, and in this event, this science hall, we got the first place, but we wanted to present this project for the for people who can help us to develop more this project, but we can find. So our project was about semilla de moringa. I don't know if you know it. Uh, the moringa and
Moringa seeds.
moringa seed.
Seeds. Mira cómo te lo voy a enviar. Es SEEDS. Seeds, semillas.
Moringa seeds, and we
Ujú.
use it for clean water, and we did experiments about that, and we achieved clean water. And if we use this project to clean rivers, we can, this is an advantage for population, for the society, because we, I mean, we will have again our rivers clean, and these people will can have advantage for a clean river, for drink, for economic activities, for daily activities. So projects, there are many projects in the country about clean water rivers, even the sea, the I mean the, yeah, the sea, for try to get water
Oceans also.
for oceans, yeah, for oceans, but government don't have the enough support for develop them. So if the
Okay.
constitution say
So,
that it's a right, I think the government must to have support for these people.
okay. I found so interesting your point of view because I know that you are not a lawyer. And the thing that are you comparing with the Constitution, remember that the Constitution is the base of all the democratic systems. And we are a society because we have Constitution. So it's really nice that you didn't start, like you are like starting your career and you have these topics like so clear. I didn't have it like this when I start to study. So congratulations for that. If you need more time for my computer, casi se cae mi computador. Ay, me, sorry. So if you need more time for create the paper, I will give you more time because I know that it's a challenge to do it so fast. And maybe the first time that you try to write something related with the law in English. So no worries. If you maybe need a couple of days more, just tell me and takes your time. Okay?
I will
No
try to do
worries.
it for Sunday, but if I need more time, I
Okay.
will write it. Write to you.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. But everything is perfect. Just I can suggest you that by the end you can make a proposal that you can say, I guess that the solution is, for example, that the money that we get from oil or from some products that's below, or some part that some part of the money that the government create with all these public systems of water, maybe the 20% get invested in some projects for create clean water. That is the way that you put real your suggestion, not just, oh, the government need to invest, because that is in the clouds, in the air. You say, I guess that the government, or my proposal is that the government invest this amount of money, invest this kind of percentage, and take the money from here, right? Then you're given like security and structure, and that is so important.
Okay.
Okay, and that is just an example. You can do whatever that you want. Before you leave, please, I will ask you that you fill the survey.
I did it. Already.
And thank you so much for thank you so much for your time.
Thank you to you.
I will see you the next week, and enjoy your weekend, of course.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.